Two flight attendants were tidying up the items. Suddenly, they heard a sound coming from the restroom. Afraid that something was wrong with the passenger, the flight attendants immediately went up and called out, but there was no response. When they opened the door, they found that the passenger had fainted. One of the flight attendants started first aid right away, and the other one immediately informed the purser. However, the passenger named Chinka was unconscious, fainting and vomiting, and there was no smell of alcohol on him. When the purser came, he didn't know what to do either. He quickly sent someone to ask if there was a doctor in the cabin. The flight attendants asked several times, but they didn't find any medical staff. The purser had to tell the captain about the situation. After hearing this, the captain reported the situation to the nearby airport and made preparations for an emergency landing. At the same time, the passenger's father rushed over. Soon, the passenger woke up from the coma. It turned out that the passenger was a programmer who had been working overtime all night recently. Then the purser asked someone to help the passenger to his seat. After that, the purser told the captain the news that the passenger was awake. After learning that the passenger walked back to his seat by himself, the captain thought that the passenger's condition was not serious. For the signing ceremony of the leader and his own future, he ignored the co-pilot's dissuading, cancelled the emergency landing and chose to fly directly to the destination. Although the passenger had woken up, he was still not out of danger. They flew for 3 hours like this. It was about to land soon. But when the plane landed on the runway, the passenger's expression became painful. The man struggled wildly in his seat. After more than 10 seconds, he completely stopped breathing. After the plane landed, the passenger's father found that his son had no response. Hearing the noise, the flight attendants rushed over. She kept shaking the passenger's body, but there was still no movement. Everyone realized that something bad had happened, so they immediately carried the passenger to the cabin passage and asked the purser to perform CPR. On the other hand, the captain also learned the news and ran out of the cockpit. Looking at the passenger lying on the ground, he panicked completely. But because the passenger's heart had stopped beating for too long, neither the purser nor the doctor who came could do anything. They could only send the passenger to the hospital. At this time, the captain still didn't admit that it was his fault and said that everything would be okay once the passenger was sent to the hospital. He also asked all the crew members to keep this thing a secret. But soon, the passenger died because of the untimely rescue. The father recorded what happened and posted it online, which immediately attracted the attention of netizens.